Greetings, students. Just Mrs. P here today. Welcome to Unit 3, Week 2, Day 2 of our reading lesson. Now, before we begin today, I just want to show you guys a couple of things because the reading lesson is going to look a little different today. If you look in your instructions, you see that first, you came to the right place. You're watching the whole group video. You're going to need to watch all of it today before you start your lesson. Then number 2 today says, read the short story Jane's Discovery on page 199 in your Small Wonders book. Now, before you panic, not everybody has their Small Wonders books at home. So you could also read on, and it says, or see the attached pages below. So you have two choices today, my dear learners. You can either be an independent reader, and you can come over here to Jane's Discovery. See where it says Jane's Discovery PDF? These will give you the pages you need to read today. So if you want to read on your own, you can click those pages and read away at this historical fiction. Or if you're one of my friends that prefers to be read to, you can listen to me read the story to you. If you'd rather, you can come over here to Jane's Discovery Read Aloud, and that's going to be me giving you those pages. So those are your two options today, or if you have your book, you could read it there. Then number 3, it says complete the Google slide assignment, and that's where we're going to get started today. So let me hop us on over there and show you guys what we're doing. Here's what it looks like. Remember, our big question this week is, drum roll please, how can one person change the way you think? Yesterday, I asked you guys to visualize, who is that one person, a mentor, a coach, a teacher, a parent, or relative? Who is somebody that you look at and you think, yeah, I think I'd like to be like you someday? So all week we're going to be reading about people that are experiencing those feelings of like, oh, wow, you inspire me to be somebody else. So before we begin, just like I told you guys, you're going to need to read those attached pages or watch the video of me doing the reading. Please don't try to do the work without it. It will not make sense. If you'd rather get to the video of me reading here, you sure can, where it says right here, the YouTube link. Otherwise, you can click on it on the classwork. So make sure you're doing that story first. Pause the video, go do the story. Welcome back, or maybe you just hung out here. Now, a review, and this week really is a lot of review for us. We've worked this year on visualizing. I always tell my students when we learn to read or learn our strategies, I say, close your eyes and visualize. What I mean is draw a picture in your head of exactly what's happening in your story. Now, don't be like some students and they're like, I'm going to add a Tyrannosaurus to the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. No. When we visualize, it's not just a time for us to be really creative and like think of a different story. It's our time to take whatever the author has written, put it into a picture. That helps us understand. So the very first thing you need to do today, it says, please read this right here and visualize. I'll read it out loud. Jane scooped up her long skirts and splashed through a small stream. Running helped her collect her thoughts, so she ran for what seemed like hours. She dashed around a tree and wasn't paying attention. As a result, she tripped over a pair of long legs stretched out in the grass. So your very first task today is draw a picture in your head. See Jane, see what she's wearing. Remember, the year is 1825. The story takes place almost 100 years ago. She had her long skirts on and she's running through the woods. Why is she running? What is she feeling? See it in your story. What do those long legs that are sticking out, what do those look like in your mind? So write to me. If she's been running for hours, she's hiking up her skirts, write to me right here where it says type here. How is Jane feeling? Okay, so you'll have to answer that. And maybe in your head, that visualizing helped you kind of decide what she's feeling. Then cause and effect. Cause and effect just means when I do something, something else happens. Right now, I'm on a student chair in my classroom, and lots of us do this on our student chairs. We're like leaning back. And I always tell you guys, don't do that, because that could cause something to happen. Yes, you're not hurt yet, but if you fall over because you lose your balance, now we've got you with an injury. So the cause would be you were leaning back in your chair. The effect would be you cracked your head on the ground because you fell off your chair. Okay? If I wake up in the morning and I'm like, you know what? I don't need breakfast today. Breakfast is not important to me. And I decide to not eat breakfast. Then I get to school and it's about 10 o'clock in the morning and I'm hungry. And I'm like, you know what, students? I can't even teach today. I don't know why. I'm just so hungry. Well, that's an effect. Something caused that to happen. I caused it by not eating breakfast. So cause and effect. When something happens, other things happen. Kind of like dominoes. If the first domino falls over, it hits the next one, it hits the next one, and the next one, and the next one. That's cause and effect. So, in a plot of a story, we often see things that happen, and then things happen because of those things, right? And the story builds and builds in our plot. So take a listen. Read this little top part. Pause the video and read it if you'd like, otherwise I will read it out loud. Jane slammed the door of the log cabin and raced towards the Indiana woods. Mother and father insisted that Jane go to school and learn to read. It was September of 1825, and Jane wanted to help on the farm like her brothers. Therefore, she told her parents no and refused to learn to read. So we look down below and we see cause and effect are often done in pairs, the cause and then the effect. So today we have the effect. We have the thing that happened. Jane said, no, I am not going to learn how to read. What caused that? Don't just tell me it's because she didn't want to read. Go back up to those words up here at the top of our screen, right up here. Find the exact reason that she didn't want to. Then you'll need to type that cause here. Bonus points if you're my friends at home that are using complete sentences. Bravo to you. Keep up your great work. Remember, to make an uppercase letter with the keyboard, you press Shift, and then you type your button while you hold Shift down. That makes it uppercase. You need a period at the end. Uppercase letter, space between the words, and mark. Do not forget all pieces. So give me the cause. Then, here's our 2 questions today. Number 1, how did Abe change Jane's life? Then over here next to it, you're going to need to type how. Before you just say, made it better, I need a full sentence. Restate that question. Abe changed Jane's life because blankety blankety blank. Whatever you think. But make sure you tell me Abe changed her life because. And number 2 says, who has helped change how you think? I'll give you a sentence starter again. Someone who has changed my thinking is blankety blankety blank. Okay, so set up your responses with a little piece of your question. Then after that, you're going to need to watch this quick video about idioms. Not a bad word, idiom. Basically, an idiom is a figure of speech that makes the English language difficult. If I look outside and it's pouring rain, I might look at my students and go, whoa, it's raining cats and dogs. Now, you guys would know what I mean. You would go, oh yeah, that means it's really raining hard. But if somebody was sitting in our classroom who had never, maybe they're just learning English, maybe they'd never heard that, they're going to be like, it's raining cats and dogs? That's not safe. People are going to get hit in the head by cats. So an idiom is just, I know it's kind of silly, but an idiom is just a figure of speech. It's what we say that means something else. And really, you would have had to hear idioms before to understand them. If I want to wish you good luck before you go out to do a performance, I might tell you, hey, break a leg. If you've never heard that before, you're going to go, but Mrs. P, I thought you liked me. No, I do like you. It's an idiom. When I say break a leg, it actually means good luck. So watch this video. It's kind of silly and it's kind of catchy to learn more about idioms, because after that, you're going to need to sort the idioms. Here's your idioms. Break a leg. It's raining cats and dogs. That's a piece of cake. She drives me bananas. I'm feeling blue. Take your meanings down below, and if I'm feeling blue means it's easy, drag it's easy up to what it means. Okay? So you'll need to do those 5 idioms. They're common ones. That means we've seen them before. Lastly, today, if you've got some time, the big one I want you to try, the new one today, is L7C. So try L7C on IXL. That is idioms, and it will give you excellent practice. Last thing I want to touch on today, because it is review, is I wanted to remind you guys, historical fiction as a genre, as a type of story. Historical fiction, and I'll get to the page here, it says it's a story with made-up characters who take part in real events from history. So, and we talked about this in class a little bit last week, but we decided that sometimes the characters are completely made up. They're fiction. They didn't live. They're just pretend. Sometimes the characters are real people or based on people. So in this story, we have Abe Lincoln. It's historical fiction. It's made up. There's no little girl that Abe Lincoln taught to read. But he was a real person. In 1825, he was alive. So historical fiction, it's a story that takes place in the past. It can have real characters or made up characters. And basically, it's designed to take the reader into that time period and have them learn more about that event. Like the I Survived books are a good example of that. All right, team, make sure that you're doing all of your work on your Google Slides today. Great luck in IXL. Reminder, full sentences. Read the story, listen to the story, and then read it again just for fun. All right, team, that's all for me for now. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Bye.